Hello everyone, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink, and finally getting a chance to create a card for the Winter Coffee Lovers blog hop. This blog hop is open to everyone, and everyone puts in their links to the cards they made that fit the theme, which is winter theme / coffee themed creations, and there's giveaways and all that kind of stuff. I will link to that in my blog post, which will be linked in the description box below the video. So this, of course, encouraged me to use this Yeti 2-party stamp set from Darcies that I got not too long ago. I think it's sold out right now, but hopefully Ellen Hudson gets it back in stock really soon. It's so cute. This little polar bear is holding a to-go cup, and he's bundled up in a scarf and a sweater, and it's just adorable. So I stamped it onto some Neenah 80-pound Solar White Classic Crest cardstock. Say that 3 times fast. This is the best cardstock for alcohol ink blending. And of course I'm using my Copics. For this aqua combo here, the two, the darkest and the medium color are kind of further apart in the spectrum. So what I like to do, rather than touching the lighter color to the darker, I just scribble it onto an acrylic block and pick it up that way. And then I will clean off my block later with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and it'll be fine. But that's one way to kind of blend colors that are a little bit further apart. So that's what I do with that kind of aqua combo. And I have the colors I used on the screen here. And I was inspired by the pattern paper I'm going to use to create my little card. That's what kind of inspired this color combo, because these are not normally colors I would put together, but I really like them. So I did the blues for his scarf, and then that aqua for his little sweater, and then I added in that kind of yellow sort of color. I'm not even sure what color you would call that, but I really like this color. And then used a little bit of just dark grays for his nose and the lid of the cup, and then went a little bit lighter for the base of the cup. And then for the actual little polar bear, I actually just added a little bit of BV20 and then blended that out with C00. So after I'd finished all of my coloring and I'd added a little bit of red to that heart just to make it pop, I took my white gel pen, had to add a few little highlights here and there, and I also made his little mittens polka dotted mittens because that was just a little extra cute something. So went along, and with my gel pen, when it decides to get skippy, which happens, I just scribble it on my finger, and it kind of removes any little clogs or anything, and I just keep going like that. So especially when I'm trying to do like polka dots and stuff with my gel pen, I find that a lot of times I need to remove any buildup. You'll just kind of see it right around the ball tip, how it'll, like pieces of it'll dry up and that, and that's when I'll like scribble it against my finger, and then it's good to go. So after I was done all my coloring, I fussy cut out this image right on the line with my little detail cutting scissors, which with this image was really quite simple to do. It only took like a minute or so. And after it was all cut out, I took my Memento Tuxedo black marker and went along all of the edges of this, and that just covers up that white edge that's exposed and any of the little areas that I didn't cut perfectly, and just gives it that seamless look. Again, only takes a minute, totally worth it. It just makes everything look a lot more finished and complete. So I do it fairly quickly, because if you are holding that marker for too long against the edge of the cardstock, it's going to start wicking that marker into the image, and then you're going to end up with like black ink smears, and it's just going to look like a mess. So you just want to lightly go along, and it's good. So for my card base, I did this off camera, but I die cut the Perfectly Plaid Chill pack from Fawn. That's what inspired my color combo. So I had the 12 by 12 pack. So I used Honeybee's coffee cup card dies that die cut a basically A2 sized coffee cup. This thing is 5.5 inches by I think like 3.5 inches. So it'll fit in an A2 sized card, and I love it. I've done other videos with this, and I plan to do more because it's just fun. So I die cut the blue pattern paper with the base of that die, so it creates that folding coffee cup shape. And then the top I die cut from some black cardstock, and then the band I die cut from that yellowish color of plaid from the same collection pack. And then I ended up deciding to stamp one of the sentiments from that Darcie's Yeti 2-party set onto the lid of this cup. So I used my anti-static powder tool first, and then I coated it with white embossing powder after I had stamped it with VersaMark sticky embossing ink, and then melted that with my heat tool. And then I used my little Swiffer cloth just to remove that excess anti-static powder. And then I'm going to use my little Xyron tape runner to adhere that to the front of my coffee card. And then after I did that, I was like, I should add another sentiment to the inside of the card because I really like this one. It says, "I hope your special day is good to the last drop." So I thought that was totally perfectly fitting for this. So I used the anti-static powder tool again, and I'm going to stamp this right along the very top of the inside of this card because I'm going to add a gift card, so I don't want the sentiment covered up. And I did the exact same thing. Coated it with the white embossing powder, and then I'm going to melt that with my heat tool. I let my heat tool heat up for a little bit before bringing it to the paper. That kind of helps to minimize any warping. And then for my gift card, I just happen to have this Starbucks one with the panda polar bear face, which is just perfect. I love when things like this just come together and everything goes together so perfectly. So I had that, and then I used one of the Fawn simple gift card slots dies to die cut the little notches to hold that gift card into place. And then since I was digging through my Fawn stash, I came across my mini Snowflakes dies from Fawn as well. So I ran those through with my little big kick here, or not big kick, sidekick. I can't speak. Sorry. Today is just, it's late. It's like 1 in the morning right now. Good Lord. Anyway, use my little Sizzix sidekick to die cut these. I am really impressed with this little machine. Like, these are very intricate little dies. It cuts through them like no problem whatsoever. So I die cut those snowflakes from some white cardstock and just popped them out of the dies with my one of my pen blades because it was sitting right in front of me. And then I decided to kind of figure out where I was going to adhere everything. So I'm just using little dabs of multi-medium matte adhesive and adhering the snowflakes kind of randomly, like on the lid of this little coffee cup. And there's little tiny, really tiny little snowflakes too that this die cuts. So I was adding some of those to the lid as well. And then I needed to figure out where I was going to place my little polar bear here. And I knew I wanted to place them on the band of this, so I made sure to kind of line them up over that band so that I'm only placing adhesive on the bear and nowhere else, because if you place adhesive, you know, at the top of his head or on his feet, you'll end up like gluing the band to the card, and then it's not gonna work. So got all those adhered. So I have my bear adhered to the band. I have my snowflakes adhered to the card, and I had a few left over. So I'm going to adhere those last ones to the inside of the card. And that finishes it off. It was actually a really quick and easy card with the die cuts doing all of the work for the fun shape, and then inserting the gift card on the inside. And then it was just the coloring of the bear, which again was fairly simple because it's a polar bear. So there's not a whole lot that needed to be done. So this was really fun to make. Like I said, I will have a link in my blog post to the coffee lovers hop and all that sort of stuff. So you can check that out if you're interested, as well as all the supplies that will be in my blog as well as in the description box below the video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon in another video. Bye.